Okay, let's get warmed up. So we're going to put that block between our inner thighs. You're going to face me. Okay, so face forward. Face the big windows. Yep. I'm going to keep some pressure on that block. And we're going to come down and open up the chest. Inhale. Exhale. Squat. You're driving through those heels. Down and up. Proud chest. Booty back and keep that block tight. Do you want a block? Oh no, there's other things. In that cubby, there's a garbage bag. Go grab a block behind this wall. Yeah. 4. Shh. To the left or to your right. Other side. Other side. There you go. Now stay down. These little pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold it down. Tuck your tail. Engage those abdominals. Bring your chest up a little higher. And lift those heels up and down. 7 and down. 6 and down. 5. Yep. Here's 4. You got this. 3 and 2 and 1 and stack. Good. Take your block. Put it on the ground. Foot on. If you've got a foot that's bigger than the block and you'd rather have another block to put in front of it, grab an extra block. Okay? So I'm going to squat down again. And this time, I'm going to lift up, hips in a straight line, but my foot is dangling. And I come down again, and I lift. Inhale, exhale. Take your time. Pull that navel in. Squeeze your seat, and you can do the same thing without a block. 2 more. And 1 more. Take the hands to the waistline. Lock the standing leg, so wrap it and lock it, and then go out and in. Nice and tall. Belly in. Thigh wrapped. Take your time. There's no rule on how high that leg goes. And 3. And 2. And 1. Now all I want you to do is take these toes forward and back. And don't make it about the muscles working. Make it about the hip releasing and just having some freedom. Forward and back. Good. And 3. And 2. And 1. And put that foot down, and we'll put the other foot on top. Okay. So we start with our feet, hip width apart, toes in a straight line. We'll squat down and balance. Come down, zip it up. Inhale and exhale. Proud chest. Yes, you should not feel strained to that lower back. Booty goes back. Nice. Open the chest. And 3. And 2. And we're going to hold this one up and take the hands right to the waistline. And we'll take this leg out and in. 2. 3. Take your time. And we'll go for 4. 3. 2. Swing forward and back. That's it. Nice and easy, so let it go. 3. Woohoo. 2. And 1. And let's take it all the way down to our mats. Okay. All the way down. We'll take that block again between the thighs. I'm going to grab onto my weights. Palms face down. Press into your block. Tuck your tail. Melt the shoulders. Just before that lower back touches, I want you to bring it back up and lengthen. And again. Take it down. Inhale. Lift up. Exhale. Shoulders melt. Press into that block. And bring it up. And again. Shoulders melt. Lift it up. 2 more. I inhale down. I'm rounding. I'm pressing and lifting. And 1 more. Take it down. Now hold it here in this diagonal. So I didn't come up and release. I'm here. Flip those palms up. Lower the arms towards the hips and lift. Keep that block tight. Inhaling, exhaling. And 3. Good. And 2. Hold this one up and let's circle it around. Lift up and around. I'm using those armpit muscles to support those shoulders. And now let's reverse it. And down and around for 4. Down and around for 3. Down and around for 2. Down and around for 1. Flip those palms back to facing downward. And we'll roll all the way down. Shoulders are heavy. Nod the chin to your chest. Find that lower back on that mat. Press into your block and bring it up and over. Retrace your steps. Inhale, melt those shoulders. Tuck your tail. Exhale. Nod that chin. Shoulders come off. Find that lower back. Slower is better. We bring it back down. This is my last one. Good. Now I'm going to slide those feet a little closer towards my seat. Shoulders are still down, arms are still up. Now as my arms go down to the mat, I'm going to tabletop my legs. As I tap my toes back down, my arms come back up, just my toes. And I bring it up on the exhale. Inhale, lower. Exhale. Inhale. So I want you to imprint this spine on your mat. And as you lower those toes down, don't let the back arch off the floor. Remember, we're exhaling as the knees come in towards the chest, and then we bring it back down. 2 more. Inhaling and exhaling. And inhale. And exhale. Now this time, bring those legs up, reach those arms long, and nod that chin to your chest. Flip the palms up, bicep curl as you tap your toes, and lengthen the arms as the legs come back up. You are more than welcome to keep your head down on the mat. I tap, I lift. If your head is up, shoulders off the mat, eyes to navel. Back stays heavy. 3 more. And 2. And 1. Flip the palms to face the floor. Keep the legs where they are. Head down, arms up. Now this time, instead of tapping my toes, I'm going to take my chin to my chest if you're lifting your head. And as my arms come down, my legs are going to slide out. And I'm going to come back into that first position. Draw that chin to your chest. You can take your legs higher if it feels better to your back, and then return. I'm going to inhale as I lift. Exhale to come back down. 2 more, please. Press it long and strong. Bring it back in. And last one. I'm going to hold it here. If you need to, bend the knees back in. Put the weights down. Reach those arms long and start to pump the 100. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're squeezing lemons in your armpits. Remember, you can draw the knees in. You can place the feet down. You can put your head down on the mat. So work, but don't have strain to the back, the neck, or the hips. Watch those shoulders. It's the whole entire arm. I'm inhaling through my nose and exhaling through my lips. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. You got 2 more sets. Inhaling deeper. Exhale with the air out. Last one. Inhale and exhale. Slide it in and let the head come down. Take the arms out like a T, palms up, and let the knees float to one side, keeping your shoulders heavy. Using your abdominals, come back up, and we'll float our knees to the other side. Shoulders stay heavy, and we'll bring it back up. And my feet come down. I'm going to grab onto my block, and I'm going to put that block under my right foot. Okay. So I'm going to hold my weights like candlesticks or hammers. I got one weight in each hand. Weights are optional, and they're close to my side. I'm going to press through that right foot and give a bridge up. Good. And my arms press down to the floor, and I'm going to take my whole spine and just lower it down. I lift my whole spine up. I scoop that belly deeper. Squeeze your seat. The inner thighs are engaged, and come back down. We'll lift back up on an inhale. Press those shoulders down deeper, and exhale. I'm going to add on this one. You don't have to. I'm going to inhale, lift up. On the exhale, tabletop your left leg. Place that foot back down. Inhale. Exhale, lower your bridge. And again, inhale up, weights pressed down. Exhale, tabletop. Inhale back down, and exhale. Lift up, count 1, 2, table. 3 down, 4, release. And 1 more. Now this time, I'm going to hold this leg here. If you feel you need more balance, you're going to keep your arms where they are. If you're okay, bring those arms up, palms turned in. So I'm going to take that leg that's tabletopped. I'm going to straighten it as I reach my arms to a diagonal and then back up. Inhale, exhale. So my arms are not going very far. I press out, lengthen, I come back to center. And 3, and 2. You can lower that bridge at any time. And 1. Lower the arms. Take your foot back down and lower down your bridge. Release those weights and bring that right leg straight up. And we'll do a little hamstring stretch. Nod the chin to your chest. Slide those hands up a little higher. Keep your hands where they are, but put your head back down. And we're just stretching the back of that leg. Okay, slide your block over to the left side. Hold your weights like candlesticks. And I'm just going to bridge up. And I'll lower back down. Everything lifts up. So I'm going to inhale, scoop and lift. Exhale, come down. Make sure you engage those inner thighs as you're coming up. Now you're more than welcome to stay just like this. I'm going to add on. So I'm going to bridge up on an inhale. On the exhale, I'm going to tabletop that right leg. Place it back down and then release your hips back to the mat. Lift those hips up, table, down, and release. So it's that left glute that should be firing and working. And if it's not working enough, your hamstring is going to let you know. Shoulders are heavy when you're bridging up. 2 more. Inhale up, exhale lift. Inhale down and release. 1 more. I lift up. Now I'm going to hold this one here. You can keep the arms still. You can sweep them up, palms turned in. I'll lengthen that right leg and come back in. Inhale. Exhale. I'm never letting my shoulders disconnect from my back. So they're always trying to hold almost a lemon under that armpit. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Weights go to the floor. Foot goes down to the floor. Lower your bridge. Release the weights. Take your left leg straight up and grab behind that calf. If you want a bigger stretch for the back of that leg, I nod my chin to my chest. I slide my hands up a little further. I keep that leg there as I lower down. And feel that stretch. Lovely. Okay, I'm going to grab onto that block with both of my feet so I know where it is. I'm going to rock myself up. And I'm going to keep my block just like this, nice and flat. But I'm going to press the sides of my feet into that block. I'm going to grab onto my weights. Are we okay so far? Everyone's like behind me. Reach those arms long. Press in your block. Round your spine forward, and your arms should be parallel to the floor, right next to your ears. Now, pressing into that block, we're going to roll it back. Take your time, melt those shoulders, and bring those arms straight up. Let's nod that chin to our chest. Lower back is going to find that mat. Press into your block. Press the back of those legs down into the floor and stretch those heels longer. And let's return back down to the mat. Now, if you can't come back up, don't go all the way down. Good. Inhale, eyes to belly. Press, flex those heels. Feel like those heels are reaching longer towards the edge of that mat. Inhale back. Engage those inner thighs. Flex those feet. Tuck that tail. One more. Eyes to belly. Inhale. Press into that block. Squeeze your seat. Reach. Now stack your spine nice and tall. Take the hands in towards the sternum and sit taller. Inhale here. Exhale. C-curve back. Hold right here. Now I'm going to take my right leg. I'm going to lift it, tap the block, and put it down. Do that again. Now this is hurting your back. You come up higher. Or if you brought a ball with you, you put it behind your back and support it there. I'm using my belly and the front of my hip. 2 more. Tap and tap, and I'm going to sit nice and tall. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, tuck your bum. Tuck it, tuck it, tuck it, melt it. Shoulders are down. Good. I like that. Now the left leg and tap. Good. 2. If we rush, we don't feel a thing. 3. Use your belly. 4. Can you feel it? 4 and 3. 2 more. Here's 2. Take your time. And 1. And then bring it back up. Release the weights. All right, so we're going to go back down onto our mats. We're going to tabletop our legs, and we're going to put this balancing on top of our shins. Okay? Good. Stay awake, stay awake. Okay, arms to my side. Now, anytime your legs are in this tabletop, if your lower back is saying, you're going to take your hands, make a little football tee, and support that lower back that way. And see if that helps at all, okay? All right, so here's my block. My back is imprinting, not from tucking my tail, from letting my rib cage go deeper. I'm going to slide my legs out, not completely straight, and then come back in. Don't lose your block. So you want to keep your shins parallel to the floor. I should not be able to fit my hands underneath that spine. Inhale out. Exhale in. Now you can keep your head down or hand over hand behind that head. Elbows are wide. I'll nod my chin to my chest where I'll stay. And I'll take my legs again out and in. Now if you want to play around with this some more, when I come back in, my arms are going to sweep around. I'm going to grab onto my block. I'm going to reach my legs completely straight now. I'm going to come back in. Don't go all the way with your block on your shins and come back in. So we're going to inhale, lengthen, arms to temples. Exhale, block back on your shins. Inhale, don't lose your block. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale and release. Take that block between those inner thighs again. Okay, so my legs are parallel, and I want you to press into the block. So my feet are going to kind of press out a little bit, so my thighs press more into the block. I'm going to grab onto my block and let my knees press out. I press into my block, my feet go out. I grab onto the block, my feet connect, my knees go out. Make sense? Press into the block, let your feet separate. Grab onto the block, let your knees separate and the feet stay together. Press into the block, knees in, toes out. Grab onto your block, press out the knees. Press into your block, separate the feet. Grab onto the block, feet together, separate your knees. And my block just stays forward when it's in my hands. Good. And then bring the legs back together and lower down. Good. Okay, let your knees fall away from each other so you get a nice little stretch in those inner thighs. Good. Beautiful. Okay, now the next part, we're going to do a bridge and put the block under your pelvis. If you don't think your hips can be that high, your block will be more flat. Otherwise, it will be here. This is I call this the tower. Don't make it a tower, okay? So it's either here on its side or here flat. So I press up, slide that under your pelvis. Now, you don't have to. If you're not going to use the block, keep your spine down on the mat. So do not do a bridge. I want you to tabletop your right leg and add the left. So I'm balancing up here on my block. Rib cage is still heavy, but my back is not on the floor. I'm going to tap my right toes without my pelvis shifting and come back in. I'm going to tap my left, come back in. Inhale down, exhale out. Inhale. Can you feel the belly working hard? If you don't feel your core, chances are your pelvis might be moving with that leg. So you suck that belly in and zip it up and don't let it shift. Good. Now, I'm going to take my right leg out, and as it comes in, I'm going to switch to my left. So it's like single leg stretch ab series. Now I'm going to start to pick it up just a little bit. Reach long, switch, long. Inhale, to exhale. And inhale, I'm reaching long. I'm reaching even longer. I'm trying to touch the wall in front of me with my toes while my belly's scooping in deeper, yes? So hopefully you feel your belly working. Everything's about the belly. Are we breathing? Inhale, to exhale. One more set. Inhale, exhale, freeze. One leg should be bent. Straighten that leg up. Now, as I lower this leg, the other leg is going to come up in a scissor. And switch. Take your time, please. Take your time. Move your legs from your belly. You know that. I'm sliding my toes along the ceiling and then down that wall. So again, if you are not on a block, you can put your hands under your seat while you do these scissors. Okay? Okay. Both legs up. All right, so I'm going to take my legs into a Pilates V, and I'm going to lower down, 2, 3, and zip it up. Do that again. 1, 2, 3, zip it up. I should not be taking my pelvis with me. Zip it up. Let's do the breath. Inhale down, exhale up. Down, 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 zip it up. Inhale, 2, 3. Can you give me 3 more? Work from the back of the body as you lower. Front of the body brings you up. 2 more. Press those arms firmly into that floor. 1 more. Nicely done. And then bring those legs back to a tabletop and take your feet all the way down to the floor. Okay. We all right? All right. Lift up off your block and slide it out and lower your spine back down. Hug those knees into your chest. Okay, so we're going to work some obliques here. So grab onto your block, and you're going to put that block against your left quad. Okay? Now, just to hold that in place for a second, put your left elbow on it. I'm going to bring my head up and add my right elbow to the block. So I've got 2 elbows on my block. So you got to curl up. Now take the left elbow off and follow it. You're going to look out to the left. Both knees are in. Press your right leg straight out. Now all I want you to do is lift this leg up and down. Exhale. Inhale. So I'm keeping my leg pressing into that block, the block pressing into my leg. I want you to feel that left oblique. 4, 3, keep your back heavy. And 2, good. And 1, bring it in and lower your head. Slide the block to your right thigh. Take your right elbow onto the block. Nod the chin to your chest and add the other elbow. So I got 2 knees in, 2 elbows on the block. Let your right elbow go down to the mat and I followed it. Hands behind my head. Press the left leg straight out. And I'm going to lift up and down. Shh. Take your time. 3 and 4. I exhale on the up. 4 more. Good. Watch the back. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in and release. Okay, rock yourself up. All right, so we're going to do a spine stretch. And I want you to sit on top of your block. You don't have to, but when you sit and the hips are higher than your legs, it's easier to sit up. So here we are. Take your legs as wide as your mat. Flex your feet. So it's easier to sit up, did I lie? Okay, so I shouldn't be, yep. Feel like your chest is going through a door frame. Arms parallel to the floor. Let's inhale up, and on the exhale, nod the chin to your chest. My arms are going to stay parallel, and as my arms go forward, my belly goes back. Inhale, stack back up, melt those shoulders, tall, 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 tall. Exhale, chin to chest, eyes to belly, and reach. Inhale, up, 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 up. Exhale. Now I want you to inhale here, and on the exhale, open the arms out like a T. So my chest is really going through a door frame, and the back of my legs are pushing down. I want you to rotate to the windows. Inhale. On the exhale, soft your baby toe and look at your backhand. Inhale up, twist, 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 twist. Exhale to the back of the room. Use your core to come up. Inhale, rotate, rotate, rotate. Exhale. Lifting up, shoulders are connected to your back, spine is nice and long, and we add a scoop to the belly. 1 more each side. Inhale, twist, 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 twist. Exhale. And 1 more, lifting it up, rotating, exhaling down. We bring it back up, and we lower it back down. We're going to slide these legs together. And I'm going to take my thumbs on top. I'm going to scoop my bum down. And my legs will stay straight. Now, these are little tricep presses. They're tiny. If you have a wrist issue, you can just straddle your block, bend your elbows, and straighten. This also works the triceps. Another option is to take those weights, hinge forward, and do kickbacks. So I gave you 3 different choices. You can pick. Okay? All right, so if you're using the block, my thumbs are wrapped around. I'm going to straighten my arms and lower. Press up and lower. Shh. And down. Shh. And down. I go for 4. Squeeze those triceps. 3. Good. I love all the variations in the room. 1 more. And then round forward and stretch. Okay. So we're going to flip over. You're still going to face the center of the room. We're going to take that block, to the front edge of our mat. My hands are going to come right underneath my armpits, and my legs are reaching long. Now, if you got a tight lower back, you want to open up the legs a little wider. If not, you're going to be sits bone width apart, so it's about a fist width. My arms aren't touching the mat at all, and I don't want you to think of lifting the head. Think of lifting the chest, and the head's along for the ride. So I'm going to start lifting my chest, pressing through the heel of my hands. My belly button stays on. My shoulders go down my back. I squeeze my seat, and I come back down. Press through those hands. Lift up. Inhale up. Squeeze your booty. Exhale. You should not feel strain to your neck. If you do, those shoulders could be coming up to the neck, and you could be hyperextending your neck by looking out. And we come back down. I'm going to do one more. Inhale, lift, squeeze your seat. Good. Exhale down. Now reach out for your block. Now you can continue though doing what we just did. So if I show you this and this doesn't work for you, you're going to continue with your hands under your armpits. All right. So I'm going to lift my head and chest, my block, and my arms. I'm going to slide the block to the crown of my head. My elbows bend. I squeeze my back muscles. I press back out, and I lower. I'm going to lift up, squeeze my seat, squeeze my back muscles, press back out, and release. Lift up. If you want extra work, when my arms lift up, my legs can lift up. Boom. When my block slides in, my legs can come together. When it goes back out, my legs can separate, and I lower. Is that too much distraction at one time? Everything can lift. Everything moves towards the center. Everything retraces and comes back down. I lift up, squeeze your booty. Squeeze those thighs, squeeze the back muscle. Reach it back out and come back down. We'll do that one more time. Lift up. Bring it in. Take it out and release. And then we'll stretch back into our child's pose. Scoop the belly and round the back. Hopefully that went well for you. All right. So I'm going to come back out onto this block. And I'm going to put it underneath my left knee. Which means that my right knee can't stay down here on the floor. I'm going to bring my knees to parallel. My shoulders are over my wrist. My hips are in line with my knees. And my back is level. Now, if you need help with balance, keep your left toes on the floor. If you want to make it more challenging, take the left toes off. So I'm going to take my right toes off now. And I'm going to take this leg out to the side and then behind me. I'm going to go out to the side and then lift up. Good. Slow out, down, up, and center. Good. And my core staying engaged the whole time. I'm squeezing lemons in those armpits. Yes. You got it. Out, down, up, and in. Out, down, and up. Okay, now can you straighten that right leg out for me? Now you can stay just like this, or I'm going to pull my belly in deeper and lift my knee off the block. Yep. Now I'm going to take it down the block, pull it away from the block. On the block, pull it in. You don't have to. Tap, tap, pull it in. Tap, pull it in. One more. And I'm going to take that leg back, and I'm in a full plank. You can also be on your knees. You can also be on your forearms. Squeeze lemons in your armpits. Crown the head's reaching long. Pull that belly in strong, and make sure you're breathing. And we'll lower both knees down, and we'll stretch back and release those wrists. So remember, there's always modifications and variations. Let's take that block underneath the right knee. Okay? And you don't have to kneel on the block either. I can do the same thing off my block. All right, so I come up on it. You can have your right toes on the mat or off the mat. Now make sure you're not leaning. So I look down and make sure that my knee and my hip are in a straight line. Shoulders are directly over top of the wrist. And I take that leg out and then back. Good. And out to the side and then behind you. The hips stay in a straight line. I'm squeezing lemons in my armpits to control my shoulders from not being supported and going up to my ears and collapsing. Out and back. And out and back. And press. Good. And out. And press. One more. Good. Now here's where I straighten my left leg. You can just engage the core more and keep that knee on the block. Otherwise, I'm going to draw my belly in. I'm going to slightly tuck that tail. Lift this knee off the block. Back on it. Shh. So yeah, I can lift my knee and not use my core. Make sure that the core is pulling that off the block. 3 more. And 2. And 1. I'm going to straighten that leg back. Go into my full plank. You can drop to your knees. You can drop to your forearms. But don't feel strain in the shoulders, the wrists, the back, the hips. Hold for 8. Press your back up against the ceiling. 4, 3, 2, and release and stretch back. Flip those palms, release the wrist. Gladly. Okay, let's come onto our sides. So we're all going to have our head on that side of our mat. I'm going to put my block off to the side for a second. And I'm going to come onto my forearm and my knees are bent. My knees are also towards the top edge of my mat. I make sure that my shoulder is here and not out like this. I want you to take your free hand for a second, wrap around that rib cage and pull that rib cage up, and this is where you should be. Take that hand behind your head. And we're going to take this top leg up and down. Up and down. I'm pushing my bottom leg down as I lift my top leg up. And my abdominals are firing, and I'm holding a lemon in that armpit. If this is too challenging for that shoulder, you can come all the way down like this at any time. Okay, if you want harder, when I lift that leg, I'm going to lift my hips, and I come back down. Lift and lower. Press through that mat, come back down. Lift and lower. Come down. And 3. Good. And 2. And we're going to do 1 more. Great. I want you to take your top leg. I'm going to move out a little bit because I want you to straighten it. And the side of my foot's going to be on my block, so you might need to slide down. I had to move down a little bit. Okay? So this is just taking it to the next step. Okay? So I don't have both of my knees bent. I only have 1. If this is too much for you, you keep your hip down and you can just go back to your clamp. Okay? All right. Hand behind that head. And I'm going to lift up and down. And again, you don't have to lift your hips. You can do your clamp. Now I can also make this harder 1 more time. And I can take my bottom knee off and stack it underneath the other foot. And I can lift up again and come down. So you're going to be really careful with this bottom shoulder. Make sure you're supporting it. Squeezing your seat. I exhale up, inhale down. And 3. Just 2 more. Here's 2. And here's 1. Okay. Now we're going to take the block and stand it up to a tower. Okay? Take it to your tower. I'm going to come back on my side. I'm going to take my top foot on, and my bottom leg in front. I'm going to grab onto my weight. Okay? So don't put too much weight. The block is going to probably lose its balance and fall. So I want you to bring this arm straight up. Now, I'm catching myself. That was really bad. Yeah, you can yell at me. Now, as I take this arm down towards the leg, I lift that leg, and I come back up. You should feel the leg it's lifting, that inner thigh. Dewy. Of course, the core. Yep. Squeeze that lemon in that armpit. And 3. Hello, inner thigh. 2. Now hold this. I'm going to rest my weight on the inner thigh in little tiny pulses. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And release. Other side. Yay. So I didn't use my block for the first couple. I went into my clam first. Hang in there. Oh my goodness. Just a little more than 15 minutes. That's it. You can do this. All right. So grab that free hand, pull that rib cage up, hold that lemon in your armpit, and I lift up and down. Up. What's your bottom leg doing? Pushing down. So if I see this, I say we're not pressing down. That's important. Opposition. Opposition. Right. I'm watching. How can you make this harder? You lift that hip up and down. Good. Take your time. And down. Up and down. I lift it up. Come down. Watch that bottom shoulder. Take your time. Make sure muscles are working. 2 more. 1 more. Good. Now I'm going to take that block and I'll put my foot, it's still flat, and I rest my foot on that block. So I'm just taking this clam, this lifting of the hip to the next level. So I still have at least 1 leg down. Okay? Here we go. We lift up and we come down. Take your time and come down. Now if you're like, okay, my shoulder feels good, my back's doing okay, I want to make it a little harder. Put the bottom leg underneath the other leg. They're stacked. Hips are stacked. Shoulders still in line with that elbow. And down. Use your breath. Lift and lower. 4 more. And 3. Good. 2 more. 1 more. 1 more. And release. Okay, let's take that block to a tower. Inner thigh. So I rest my top foot. It's still facing straight ahead. Bottom leg scissors in front of the block. Remember, I can't slouch. I'm still, legs are both straight. Palm faces the leg. I lower it and lift. Lift. And don't forget to breathe. If something doesn't feel good, don't do it. Do something we already did before this. Good. Feel your belly with that inner thigh lifting. And 3. Good. And 2. Now that weight is going to rest on that inner thigh. I'm going to do some little pulses. And 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You did it. Nicely done. Okay. So we're going to put this block again. I'm going to go down towards the shins. Okay? If you need support, you're going to have your hands behind your thighs. If you don't think you need support for teaser, you can grab your weights. So I'm starting this diagonal. I don't start up, I start here. I press into my block, I tuck my tail. If you want to stop here, fine. Here, fine. You can go all the way down. Nod that chin to your chest. We're going to lift up, pause. If you want, you can kick those legs out to your teaser, come back in, and roll back down. Nod the chin to your chest. Inhale, exhale, back down, roll it. So remember, when you come up, you should still feel those abdominals working. So I stop in this diagonal, right? And I pick if I want my legs up or not. And I come down and I roll it back down. One more. Nod that chin to your chest. Bring it up. Zip it up from the belly. Good. And lower it back down. Release the weights and hug those knees in. Put the block in your hands. Zip your legs straight up. Take the block inside the left shin, and the right hand is going to press into that block. Okay? The other arm is up. Good. Now, as my right leg goes down, my left arm is going to reach back, and you'll bring it back up. My back is going to stay imprinting on my mat, and I'm going to keep pressing into the block with my leg and my hand. Good. Inhale back. Exhale. You choose how far that leg goes down. Inhale. Exhale. Two more. Lengthen. Scoop. One more. And then we'll switch. Put the block inside the right shin. Bring the right arm up. Left leg, right arm. Inhale. Exhale. Rib cage is heavy. Reach it long, belly and strong. Press into your block, yes? Inhale. Exhale. The lever doesn't have to be long. You can tabletop the leg, right? And lower and lift. But your back should stay heavy and the pelvis lying on the mat. And give me just one more. We'll inhale and we'll exhale and we'll release. Hold that block up over your chest and give me a bridge. Tuck the tail and bridge up. Good. Reach the block all the way behind you, rested on the mat. Arms are straight. Take a nice big inhale. And on the exhale, slowly lower down your spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. And then once you've made it all the way down, hug those knees into your chest. Let's rock ourselves back up. Okay, let's do some kneeling stuff, some side kneeling. So bring up onto your knees. Almost there. Okay, so we're going to take this leg straight out. Belly pulls in and up, and reach that block to the ceiling. Now give me a side stretch to the straight leg. Come back up. Now hold this diagonal. Take your block onto the floor like a tower, and take this hand behind your head. So your hips should be pushing forward to the windows. The shoulders are down. Pull the belly in deeper. Reach the straight leg longer, but keep this hip over that knee. I'm going to lift this leg up and down. Shh. Reach even longer as you lift it. Good. And squeeze the booty. Pull the belly in. Two more. Now hold this one up and see if you can make circles forward. Just 4, 3, 2. Can you reverse it? 4, 3, 2, and 1. Put the block between the thighs. Grab onto your weights. So before I do the other side, we're going to do a little chest expansion. So I'm pressing into my block. My hips are pressing towards the windows. Reach the arms out in front of you. On an inhale, pull back, open the chest. Exhale, return. Keep the block tight. So if you've been sitting at a desk all day, driving in a car a lot, we want to open up the front of that body. Open it up. Use your breath. Inhale, pause. Exhale, return parallel. Inhale, get those hips more forward. And one more. And release. Put your weights down and grab back onto your block. The other leg is going to come out straight, in line with your hip. This hip and this knee should be in a straight line, and I bring my block straight up. Shoulders are heavy. Let's inhale, stretch. Exhale, use your abdominals. Now reach up higher. Give me a little diagonal. Don't go too far, don't go too far. Now take your block, reach it. So feel like everything in the front of your body is stretching towards the front of the room. Slide your straight leg a little longer, and then we lift it. Take your time. 4, 3, good. 2. Let's do 2 more. It felt like I should do 2 more. Lift up and hold. You know, instructors can't count. Now circle forward. 4, 3, belly and booty, outer thigh. And then reverse. Squeeze your bum. Squeeze your bum. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back up. Take your block away from the center. So if this is the center, put your block on the back of the mat. Okay? Because you're going to turn and face the center. Okay, so you can choose forearm plank, extended arm plank. You can choose knees on the floor or legs straight. You can choose straddling your block. You can choose having your feet on top of your block. Okay? So I'm going to go to a full plank, extended arm. You can go onto your forearm. I look back, see my block is. Now before I bring the other leg off the mat, I'm going to press my back up against the ceiling, squeeze lemons in my armpits, and I bring the other foot up. Now if this is straining to your back, you should not have your knees off the floor. Hold this here. Now I'm going to slightly bend my elbows, press back up, and then take my right knee to my nose and put it back on the block. I'll bend my elbows. I'll press. Left knee. Back to the block. Inhale down. Exhale. Drive it in. Place it back on the block. Bend your elbows. Press. In. Good. And we'll come to our knees and stretch back and release those wrists. I'm going to take my knees a little wider. I'm going to try and go as wide as my mat. I'm going to sit my tail heavy and reach my arms long. And just feel a nice release in those hips. Good. Okay. Come into a mermaid position. No block needed. Wrist issues, shoulder issues, I want you to come down onto your forearm. If the shoulders and wrists are okay, we'll stay in an extended position. Okay? I'm going to slide my legs out a little further, so I don't want them this close. I want them to be further away. I'm going to take my top foot onto the floor, and my legs are braided. Okay? Now, right now, I need to squeeze a lemon in that armpit. I can't have my shoulder dangling. I'm going to reach my palm, and it's going to be facing the ceiling. I'm going to watch this arm as I lift up my hips. I'm going to follow my arm to the side, and I'm going to hover the mat. I'm going to lift up. Inhale. Exhale. Good. You can keep those hips exactly on the mat. Inhale. I'm going to lower all the way down and bring my knees a little closer and grab onto my top shin. If you're like this and you can't sit up, take your top leg and separate it from your bottom leg. Okay? All right. Take this arm straight up. Now press against that shin to get yourself over to the side. I'm going to take my arms and float this arm down as this one goes over. Yes. Now use your obliques and use this bottom arm to bring you back up. Hook. Inhale. Exhale. Onto that forearm. Keep your butt cheeks pressing to those heels. Good. And we bring it all the way up, and we're going to switch sides. So when you switch sides, I want you to keep your core engaged, right? So it's keep it engaged, keep it engaged, keep it engaged. Okay. So I'm going to take my knees a little further out. You can be on your forearm and do this. You can be straight. I'm going to take my top foot onto the floor in front of my bottom foot. Okay? Reach this arm up, palm is up. Now squeeze a lemon in that armpit so I know you're not here. Now I'm going to drive through my feet, my legs, my hand. I do a little side stretch. I hover. I come back up. I inhale. I exhale. One more. Reach and drive. Come all the way down and bring those knees in. Grab onto your top shin. So remember, you can separate the legs if it's easier. Bring the other arm up. Press against that shin to get you into side stretch. Hold. Use your obliques. And then come down. Onto my forearm. Keep your seat pushing down. So this doesn't lift. It stays down. Use this arm. Use your obliques. Grab onto that shin. Side stretch. Back to center. Finish on the other side. Yes. And bring it back up. Okay, we're going to face center the room into a quadruped position, hands and knees. You're on your hands and knees. So you're facing me. Yep. Curl those toes under. Pull the belly in by pushing that back up. I want you to drive your legs back. And I want you to connect your heels and push those heels down to the floor. Using your core, walk your hands to your feet. Use your core. Use your core. Good. If you need to, you soften your knees, right? Now let's walk out to a plank. 3, 2, 1. Okay? Now pike the seat up. Head goes down towards the mat and walk back. 3, 2, 1. We're going to do that one more time. Walk it out. 3, 2, 1. Pike up. Walk it back. 3, 2, 1. Now you can soften the knees if you'd like. I'm going to start to bring myself up from my belly. Shoulders are relaxed. I'm tucking my tail down towards my heels. I want you to give me a nice big inhale up. Exhale down. And give me one more. Scoop and lift. Lengthen that spine. Exhaling down. And you have made it. Okay, good job. Yes.